Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Precisely Nowhere. So happy to be back for another week. And I am recording the 1 year anniversary episode. Woo woo! I'm like kind of moving around, wanting to jump up and down, but can only do so much because I don't want my audio to cut off. But super excited that it's been 1 year since I launched the podcast. I love you all, and I will get into my thank yous. But I also wanted to use today's episode to let you get to know me a little bit more in a fun way. Decided to do my own version of 73 questions, which is inspired by the Vogue video series 73 questions. If you're not familiar with it, Vogue does these with a lot of celebrities. You can find them on YouTube, and I can include the link in the show notes. But so many celebrities, a lot of like A-list celebrities especially, but it's usually like a walking video, a cameraman who's the same guy in like every video, but he's asking questions to the celebrity. My throat's cracking a little bit because I feel like I have a little tickle in my throat, but it's really great. Highly recommend, especially if you have any like certain interests in specific celebrities, because a lot of them have been covered. But today I'm going to take my own spin on 73 questions and answer rapid fire on the podcast so that you can get to know me a bit more. And just because it's a chill week, I'm currently just thinking about Mexico. Not there yet, but will be soon. And almost 6 months of being 30, which is wild that half a year has already gone by since my last birthday. I'm like, where does time seriously go? And gotta keep making the most of this year. I wanted to make my 30th year, and who knows if this is cliche, just one to remember. Like, I didn't have a crazy 30th celebration. I did something low key with my family, and then my best friend came from New York, and that was awesome that she came to visit me in California, and we went to a spa with my mom and one of my mom's best friends. So did like low key things, still was memorable. And this year has been pretty great. I mean, I've had the podcast for most of it too, so that's just, added bonus. Met so many great people, connected with so many people that who knows if I would have ever connected with, because they, like, if not for the podcast, if I would have had the like, yeah, I'm just gonna DM this random person that I think is interesting to like connect with them, and that's a totally normal thing to do. So I highly recommend we all normalize that. Like, if we have a genuine reason why you're reaching out, ideally. But I've reconnected with people from my past, connected with new people. Super stoked to bring these interviews to life. I've already had 2 of them, and they are coming soon. I know I've been talking about them for a while now, so it could be annoying, but it's actually in the works. The first one is going to launch at the end of March, and I'm so excited. And I'm trying to have at least once a month, one interview a month. So the episode for that week will be an interview. It's going to be great quality content that I know everyone's going to love who listens to it. So, and I'm excited to introduce these awesome women to the podcast. They have so much knowledge to share, and the interview topics are going to span different things. So it is not catered towards just people that are like entrepreneurs or on that journey, but catered to people that, if you're listening to this podcast, you'll vibe with the interviews. Enough said. So thank you for listening for this past year. Thank you for all of the support. It just means the world to me that I get to put this content out every week, and I am growing as I'm continuing to keep the podcast up. It's my baby and passion project that is now kind of like a side hustle. I put a lot of time into it outside of my 9-to-5 job. Like, I kind of look at it as it's a part-time job, but it's something that when I'm doing, I love it. Like, there's never an episode or like a recording where after I record it, I'm like, I'm just doing that. It's just every time I'm just so giddy, and it's a labor of love for sure. I'm so grateful to have the support, and everyone that's listening, you know who you are. Thank you for supporting me and supporting the idea of personal growth and us, working on ourselves in a way that is very individualistic. Like you want to live your best life and also be a good person and spread the good vibes, but embracing new perspectives. I love it, and I love to share my perspectives with you all because I think they're things that you would also find interesting, like a value. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. It is Valentine's Day today, so happy Valentine's Day. As I've said previously, not the biggest Valentine's Day person, but I'll acknowledge the day. Jumping right in without further ado, because I am sure you're all like, when are we getting to the questions? And we are getting there momentarily. Patience is a virtue, but jumping in. 73 questions inspired by Vogue. Can you make any prediction about anything 1 year from now? About my life, I suppose. That I will be very happy on my journey into a new life milestone, which is very exciting, and continuing to thrive. So, thriving, happy, and hopefully pursuing being a mom. Who knows if it'll happen? I'm just going to put it out into the world because this is part of manifesting, okay? Like, not trying to go on a tangent, but this is part of manifesting, is speaking into the universe the things that you want. So, I'm just going to put it out there and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, along that lines. How would you describe yourself in 3 words? Sassy, witty, and honest. Witty because she's got the jokes. Honest because I'm an honest person. Like I like to be honest. Lying's too much effort. And sassy because she's got some attitude. I feel like I'm learning when to use it. It's not always here, but I keep it real. What's one movie you can watch over and over again? Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Yeah. I love Harry Potter. Just it's a feel good. It is truly a feel good, and I will never get tired of watching it. What are some rituals in your day? Most days, making the bed. I used to not be a person who made their bed every morning, but I do try to make the bed. I feel like it just pulls the room together, and I'm like, a little something. There are days when I just pull the covers over, but making my bed, making sure my water bottle is filled up in the morning. Whether that's me, sometimes Marco beats me to it, but making sure my water bottle filled up in the morning and putting in my Monet hair thinning serum that I do every morning as well. Those are some rituals that I have in my day. I guess they're just things that I try to do every day. And brushing my teeth before I go to bed and washing my face real hard because I get lazy sometimes, but it's a ritual, a nightly ritual. What would you say you're more into, the lyrics or the music? Both. But if I had to choose, both because I love the beats and the sounds, but lyrics get me. I love intentional lyrics, like smart, just they make you feel seen, like they're written in a way that's going to connect with you, and then when they're delivered, it just really hits you. I like music like that. So, lyrics. What's been your proudest career moment or achievement? That's a tough one because there's a a few at different stages of my life. But I would say the more recent one that comes to mind is, well, I was leaving actually like one job to another because I was looking for a new job. I was like ready to be promoted, but they weren't promoting me. They kept hiring, they kept hiring from outside, and sometimes companies that don't also like foster like growth from within. You got to know when to like stick around or go elsewhere where you're valued. So proudest career moment or achievement was when I left one job and I went to another and I leveled up twice and got like a 60% pay raise. It was amazing. I had great people in my corner to like help me and like honestly help me show me the way and give me the confidence when I didn't always have it. But I was very proud of myself because I had worked hard for it. I deserved it. And yeah, it's nice to feel valued. It's not all about the money. It's knowing your worth and then finding a place that also knows your worth. And that felt good. What would you say is the hardest part of adulting? Honestly, a lot of things, but I would say surviving in today's world. Like cost of living continues to cost of living continues to go up, but that doesn't mean that we're all equally compensated, or we just keep getting taxed, but things keep getting more expensive. So that is juggling all of that. Like, let us live, people. What's the most fun part of adulting? Getting to do whatever I want when I want it. Yep, for sure. Like, if I don't want to do something, I don't do it because I'm an adult and no one controls me, only me. So that's the most fun part about adulting. Because when you're a little kid, you like you have to, I feel like I listened to my parents a lot, and I did what I was told to, and a lot for a lot of things. So adulting. What is one thing that still remains on your bucket list? Picking up and traveling the world for like 6 months. I mean, in an ideal world, 6 months to a year, that would be amazing. It's part of my bucket list. I hope to do it one day. I hope to get to where I can have the flexibility to even do that, like working and traveling constantly for like 6 months or a year. That would be amazing. I would love to do it, and it will happen one day. When fear sets in, what pushes you to continue advocating for yourself and others? That gut feeling to do what is right is what pushes me. Like, I try really hard to not be a bystander. There's that line there, and I just am like, when my line gets crossed, because I can handle a lot, even if I'm afraid, I'm like, okay, we gotta figure this out because we're not gonna all be subjected to this, okay? Would you rather talk to animals or speak every language? Talk to animals. I mean, yeah, for sure. You know, think about if we were ever in the apocalypse, like being able to talk to animals would be pretty helpful, is where my mind goes. And it would be cool. So I'm gonna go with talk to animals. Puzzles or board games? Board games. I love a puzzle, but board games. I love me, Mancala, Battleship, The Game of Life, Monopoly, Scrabble. I mean, those are some of my top of mind go tos, but yeah, I can fuck with a board game. Yeah. Are ghosts real? Yes, I think ghosts are real. I believe in spirits. I believe that there's like some bad ones, more like trapped ones and good ones, but I do believe in ghosts. Um, yeah, and I'm like, I'm gonna mind my business. You mind yours, I'll mind mine. We good. If I was offered immortality, would I take it? As tempting as it is, no, because I think at one point I would get sad that my whole family and like generations, like I would, they would continue to live on, or they would die, and then I would continue to live on. And I'd be like, at some point, like, this is fun, but is it fun? I don't know. Who do you think you inherited your work ethic from? I would say both of my parents, because, and I have three parents, but I would say my parents that are first generation minorities, and this is no shade or offense, but they grew up in with like nothing. My dad was born in Mexico, came here when he was 3, so he lived in America most of his life, but he was first generation. Like, he also was on a green card, and life is very different when you're a minority and also not a full citizen. I didn't realize that until I got older, and I like started even asking my dad questions, and because I was going through things I was thinking about, like voting, and I didn't realize like he had never voted even though he lived in the US most of his life, because if you have a green card, you can't vote, like you're not a citizen. And I'm like, well, you pay taxes. You're doing a lot of things, but it's like that. The right to vote is something we all, if we're citizens, have by birth and take for granted, don't use our, power to vote, but some of us, not everyone. But yeah, so I would say my parents, and they just came from nothing and made something of themselves, and both really love what they do and are helping people in different ways. My mom works in the medical field. My dad works in workers' comp, like defending injured workers, works with a lot of minorities. And yeah, they just work hard and they have happy, great lives. And sometimes they work too hard, and that rubbed off on me. So we're relearning things. Where does your name originate? So my name is Arabic and like Hebrew descent. I've had to look this up because randomly in New York, sometimes taxi drivers would ask me my name, but they would be like, "Oh, are you Middle Eastern?" Because, they're like, "Did you know that that's like Arabic and it means friendly in Arabic?" So my name has Arabic descent. It means friendly, which I love because I am friendly. I definitely am. Maybe I don't always look that way, but I am super friendly if you get to know me. So, and I'm also like, if we vibe, we vibe. If we don't, that's okay. Who was your role model growing up? I would say my mom. And part of this is because she's, super fucking cool as a person and like has always just from my early childhood memories, like, and maybe this has to do with the fact that I'm also like a girl and she's a woman, and you have that also role model that looks more like you. I mean, my mom's petite like me. She has a great sense of fashion, and I used to look up to her for like her sense of style when I was little, and she used to dress me in the cutest little J. Crew kids outfits and stuff like that here and there. Like anytime she had a choice of what I wore for picture day, I looked on point. Looking back, anytime I had a choice, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking that day. Like why I thought a sweatshirt with like a cat with like a fireball like and shit was like the move. But I just or I went real extra. I mean, I had a sense of style and I had my own, so not gonna knock myself, but just saying, like, looking back, you're like, okay, parent dressed parent dressed you versus letting the kid dress themselves. I also have always been like strong minded. So I know my mom just like she was like, you're gonna do you, girl. And you'll see one day. I see now. But my mom, she's an awesome person. I mean, she's a badass. She runs ultra marathons. Not trying to geek out too much on her, but she's made something of herself, and I just love her. I feel like some people from like first glance, she could look intimidating, but she's such a softie if you get to know her, which is why I love her too. She has lots of gooey insides, even though like her demeanor can be different sometimes because she also keeps it real. So, a woman after my own heart. What's the most Virgo thing about you? My organization skills and like wanting things like organized. Like, yeah, probably that. I mean, I'm working project management, so that's requires lots of organization and just keeping like my house organized too. Like I can be a little like wanting things in their place, and maybe that goes to the Virgos are controlling, but you know what? I know where things are. What's the most California thing about you? Maybe the fact that I am happiest when the sun is shining. Like I love sunlight. I love it. Whenever it was summer and sunny in New York, it brought me like to life so much more than gloomy days. So if that's a California thing, then that. Second thing, yeah, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna follow the rules. How do you unwind? My couch, a blanket, Harry Potter, something on the TV, just chilling in my home and like vegging out, maybe some snacks, a face mask as well. What's been taking up your days as of late? The podcast and travel planning for this year. I have a couple of friends getting married this year, and I am figuring out like travel dates and plans so I can try to get good deals because flights can be expensive. So, travel planning, which is super exciting, and the podcast, which I love. What are you hoping listeners get out of the podcast? I hope that if you're listening, you are feeling seen and inspire you to live your best life and to keep growing, because growing is part of life. So I hope you feel seen. I hope you feel heard. And I hope you are feeling like this podcast is helping you grow as a person or just bringing value to your day. What's the most overworn item in your wardrobe? Probably my NYU crew neck sweatshirt because I've had it since I graduated. I got it like senior week, and I wish I would have bought multiple because it's one of those things where you have it and then you can't get it again, and it has such sentimental value that you're like, I will wear that. I will make this last forever. It's still in decent shape, but it says NYU in like big letters and then 1-5 for the year I graduated, and it's just like gray and a crew neck, and I love wearing it. I wear it probably at least once a week. Yeah, Do you feel pressure when you're deciding to post things on social media? I do feel pressure sometimes. I think I try not to get in my head, but then I'm like, what's the caption? And like, is this interesting? But as I continue to work on myself and my relationship with social media, I'm also reminding myself that who cares? It's for me and it should be for me. I talked to someone recently, I interviewed them for the podcast, and they talked about their social being like a digital diary. And I love that concept because I'm like, that's what social used to be. Like, why can't social just be like that? It can. It's just how we use it, right? So, yes, I feel pressure. I'm working on removing that pressure for myself, baby steps. And what would you consider to be your uniform? I would say probably like a crop tank top and some joggers, like some sweats, but a little bit more fashionable. I have some like wide leg sweats that I love to wear and a crop top, especially like during the summer and when it's warm, which would be my uniform if I had to choose. That would be it. Sneakers or heels? Sneakers. I'm in my sneakers era and I will stay in my sneakers era. I love heels, and I've had many heels days, but sneakers are where it's at right now. I love me some Reeboks. I have a low top and a little like thicker sole, white Reeboks and Nikes, some black and white ones. I love shoes. A beauty product that you don't go a day without wearing. My Olehenriksen. It's an eye cream, but it's the Banana Bright plus vitamin C brightening eye cream. I usually put that on after putting on my face lotion, which I wear too, but I would say most days, even if I don't put my face lotion on, I put that on. It has vitamin C, collagen. It goes on. It's like clean ingredients too. I love that. It helps me feel a little bit more awake in the mornings because I wake up so early for work. Like I start work at 7:30 a.m. So it is a game changer for early mornings. Favorite lip color, burgundy. I have like a burgundy red MAC lipstick that I've had for years that I love to wear and I've worn so many occasions because it is a look when I have it on. Go to beauty look at the moment, natural. Pretty much just my face lotion, which I can link to in the show notes, and the brightening eye cream, and maybe I'll curl my eyelashes. That's pretty much it most days. Unless I'm doing anything special, I'm trying to keep, I don't need to put makeup on my face every day. I've had many years of it. So that's my beauty look. Some mascara too, usually. Strong lip or strong eye? Strong lip. I love it. I love a good lip. I have some bold color lipsticks because I love a strong lip. Well, that is it for today, everyone. I am answering the 73 questions in two parts because Margot thought it would be fun, and I agree with him. It's a lot of questions to answer in one episode, and I'm like, why not break it up into two? Let you get to know me in two different episodes. So please tune in next week to listen to the rest of the 73 questions. And I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I love doing this podcast so much, and it was nice to let you know me more in like different ways answering these questions. So I'm like Mexico brain already. I'm so close that I just feel like recording right now. Usually such a breeze. My mind is like, you gotta pack. Are you gonna buy anything? I gotta look up the areas that we're going to too. So I'm just trying to like also be chill. Like I don't know Mexico like they do, and that's okay with me. I am still super excited. We're doing 2 days in a resort and then spending a couple days with his family. But I will fill you in more after I get back. Until then, have a wonderful day whenever you're listening to this and keep thriving. Well, that is it for today, everyone. I am answering the 73 questions in two parts because Margot thought it would be fun, and I agree with him. It's a lot of questions to answer in one episode, and I'm like, why not break it up into two? Let you get to know me in two different episodes. So please tune in next week to listen to the rest of the 73 questions. And I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I love doing this podcast so much, and it was nice to let you know me more in like different ways answering these questions. So I'm like Mexico brain already. I'm so close that I just feel like recording right now. Usually such a breeze. But my mind is like, I gotta look up the areas that we're going to too, because we're supposed to have like 2 free days, and I'm just trying to like also be chill. Like I don't know Mexico like they do, and that's okay with me. I am still super excited. We're doing 2 days in a resort and then spending a couple days with his family. But I will fill you in more after I get back. Until then, keep thriving.
Music and editing done by Marco. You can find him at midnight, MIDNITE_mind80 on Instagram for more of his work.